Good morning, everyone, and happy holidays. Today, we are doing holiday dinner remix featuring some of the classical favorites that are lighter but brighter but still just as festive. We are featuring a pork tenderloin, some sweet potatoes, and cauliflower. All of these are cold weather staples that could be adapted as you like, but in this version, we're making it a little bit healthier but still bringing in all of the joy. So let's get started. The first thing we're going to do is here are our sweet potatoes. Instead of having a heavier mashed potatoes featuring white potatoes, we are using sweet potatoes. Here they're just very easily cubed. The reason why we're using sweet potatoes is because they are high in fiber and antioxidants, which promotes healthy gut function. In addition to, you see this bright orange color? These sweet potatoes are very high in a compound called beta-carotene that helps with eyesight. So we are going to give these sweet potatoes a very simple treatment. We're going to boil them. So in they go. And then we are just going to toss them with some Dijon mustard, which bring lots of nice earthy spice, some olive oil, some salt, and some parsley. And that will be it for our sweet potatoes. So while these are cooking, we are going to get started on our pork, the meat of the dish. So instead, I know, holidays, you see ham. However, instead of using a ham with a lot of sulfites and preservatives, we are using a pork tenderloin. The reason we're doing a pork tenderloin is because a pork tenderloin, and most loin cuts for that matter, is a very high quality protein. A little less fat, but you still get all of the flavor. You still get the juiciness and all of that natural goodness that you would like from a ham. But this is a more, not just healthier, but also a little bit more affordable option. So what we're going to do with our ham, with our pork tenderloin, is that the first thing we're going to do is that we're going to sear it, and then we're going to put it in the oven. We are going to use some salt and pepper, some cumin, and garlic powder. That's it. Very quick, easy spice blend. We are going to sear that in the pan, and then we're going to finish it in the oven. Now, by searing it in the pan, we're just going to put some olive oil in the bottom of the pot. By searing it, you are not only creating a very flavorful crust, but you are also allowing the juices to really be trapped into the loin and finish cooking using indirect dry heat in the oven. So again, we're gonna use some salt, and some black pepper, and I'm using one hand to turn the pork and the other hand to season it. So you just want to get it all throughout. And this is about a 1 pound loin, and this is how much usually most loins are about a pound. And this will easily feed 4 people. Next, we're going to use some garlic powder, some really nice earthy garlic powder, and it goes a long way. It really does go the distance. And following the garlic powder, we're going to use some very fragrant cumin. And I like cumin because you get some spice, but you don't get a lot of heat. And we're just going to make sure that we get most of the pieces, most of the loin covered with this spice blend. And you will not believe how flavorful this is with just a couple of ingredients. And then we are going to add it to our pan. Just get a good sear. Just make sure it's getting coated. And now I'm going to wash my hands. So here we have a great crust that's developed on our pork tenderloin. This is not anywhere close to being cooked, but this is what you're looking for. You really want that crust to be present, to have a little crack. And so now we are going to, and you want it on both sides. And now we're going to place this in the oven, just directly onto a sheet pan, and we're going to allow this to finish cooking at 400 degrees until it reaches an internal temperature of 145 degrees. So in it goes. So we're going to get started next with our cauliflower. We're using our cauliflower as a side. You can use any type of vegetable for a side, but during the winter months, cauliflower is especially nourishing. Not only is it high in antioxidants, which reduces inflammation, but it is also very high in choline, which is a nutrient that works to prevent diseases. So we're just going to quickly get this boiling with some boiling water, and then we're going to season it up very easily with some olive oil, garlic, and salt. And next, we are going to work on our sweet potatoes. Our sweet potatoes are done, and to check for doneness, you just use a fork, and you come and you press it against the pan, and if it breaks very easily, then you know, like it did right there, then you know your sweet potato is all done. And the skins are still intact, which is great. That's exactly what you want. So I'm going to quickly drain these, and then we're going to come back here and season them up. So for these sweet potatoes, they actually do not need a lot. They are so delicious as they are. But what we're going to do is just give it a drizzle of olive oil just to get everything nice and blended. We're going to add a pinch of salt. It's about a teaspoon, not a lot. And we're going to use some fresh parsley, which I'm going to run my knife through. And the parsley gives it not just a beautiful hue, but it also makes it a little bit more brighter, a little bit more festive. And then, last but not least, Dijon mustard. The reason why I like using Dijon mustard is that it gives a great spike of flavor. Because, you know, Dijon is it has that spice to it, but it's not an overpowering spice. And I think it rounds out and gives a great dimension to a lot of ingredients. So Dijon mustard is my favorite. And then you still get the feel of a mashed potato or a very decadent, you know, mashed potato with garlic and cream. But in the end, you're using a sweet potato that came together with just some olive oil, Dijon, and parsley. So there we have it. Next, we are going to check on our star protein, our pork. Now, we want the pork to be at 145 degrees. Anything, that's the range that you're looking for. And so we're going to open up our oven. And this has actually reached 155, which is great. That's exactly where it needs to be. So we are going to pull this out of the oven, and then we are going to allow it to rest. The reason why we want it to rest is because you want all of these juices to stay trapped into the loin. If you cut into it too early, all the juices will escape. And as you can see, this is when you cook with a very high quality loin, again, you don't get a lot of pan drippings. Everything stays with the meat. And that's exactly why cooking with a loin is not just only affordable and approachable, but it's actually a very healthy alternative to a Ghana ham. So while this is resting, we're going to finish off with our cauliflower. So our cauliflower florets are boiling, and that's great. We do not want them to be overcooked. Nobody likes an overcooked cauliflower. You want to have some crunch. So we're going to drain this, and then we're going to season it up, and then we're going to combine all of our elements for our holiday remix. So here we have our cauliflower. All the florets are intact. You don't want them mushy at all. You really want them to keep them soft, but still crunchy. And for this cauliflower, all it's getting is the simplest of treatments. Some olive oil, another good sprinkle of olive oil, some fresh garlic. This garlic is going to go a long way. Lots of pungency, lots of spice. It really surprises you how quickly just a few ingredients go. And then some salt. And we're going to toss this together. And that's it. Just olive oil, garlic, and salt. And that's all these florets need, because during these winter months, they are in peak season, and that speaks for itself. So I'm just going to cut a few more slices. I've already cut 2. And now we are going to bring all of our elements for our holiday dinner together. First, we're going to start with our sweet potatoes, and I could really already smell how much a little bit of Dijon mustard goes a long way in making this a little bit sweet potatoes a little bit more memorable. Then we're going to plate our cauliflower in peak season, so full of so much natural flavor. It's sweet and grassy. And next, on top of that, we are going to add our pork tenderloin, which is naturally so juicy and ready to be devoured. The thing is here is that you don't really miss a buttery pan gravy. The tenderloin is juicy enough as is. So is the sweet potatoes, and the cauliflower really rounds everything out. This is not just a meal that you could have on a holiday dinner and serve to family and friends, but it's something you can make throughout the winter months and feel that warmth and joy. I hope you enjoy making this.